YouTube, Geezer here. I'm here at the storage yard where we keep Classy, and I'm here with my nephew Paul, and we're getting started on some of the heavy repair work that needs to be done on Classy. This one's going to be pretty ugly. Let me show you what's going on here. Typical of a Class C, this joint right here has come loose. For the last trip down to Texas, I ended up duct taping that to try to keep the water out of it, but had marginal luck with that. And now that we're looking at going east, the campgrounds going that way are pretty picky about, a lot of them are pretty picky about the condition of RVs that they'll let in the park. And one of the things you don't want to do is show up with your camper duct taped together. So we've taken a look at it. Paul's got a lot of it tore apart inside. Let's go in and I'll show you what's going on. It was bad. Well, I should say it is bad. And we're going to see what we can do about fixing it. There's Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hello. Got the video going?
I do. Yeah, this is a disaster. There's what we found. And it's ugly. So we're going to go ahead and tear all this out, get all the junk out of here, and see what we got to work with and what we need to do to fix it. I'll get back with you later.
You want to point out the majority of the problem where you can
see, well, there you go.
Where you can see the water leak around the window here that's ruined all this. And you can feel on this side the bottom is rotten from a leak, either from the window or from the corner trim on the outside. But it's pretty much wasted all the wood in here. But that way you have an idea of what we're up against.
We're going to keep after it, get all this junk tore out of here and see what we got. I'll get back with you when we get to that point.
But all I did so far is take this center trim out, which allowed all the water to dump, and I've got this one loose on this corner. You can see all the wood's rotten, but this has been like repaired on the go, it looks like, because there's caulk built up on the outside, and then you had duct tape over it, which is okay for a quick fix, but to fix the actual problem of it leaking here, this trim needs to be dropped, cleaned, and sealed from the inside when it's going back on. So, you know, the caulking on the outside of the seams is obviously an easy, quick fix, but the caulk dries up like anything else in the sun, and it fails. I believe that wood should come out of there now. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. See where we're at. Okay, Uncle John just went to get some masking tape that I'm gonna jacked with his camera here a little bit. I think I got it figured out. Give you a shot of all the rot, what we got going on here. You see that? It's pretty nasty. Now there is iron run in the corners, which is good news because structurally it looked to be pretty weak. But you can see here, if you can see it without the sun interfering, it's been wet, it's rusty. Rust happens with metal, it's just the way it works. It looks like a disaster right now. It's really not that bad. It's pretty simple. Actually, this fiberglass board is held on by the trim, and I'm going to take this sheet off completely by taking loose this strip of trim on each side that's holding it. Take this off all the way to the top so it can be cleaned and then put back on correctly and sealed from the inside, so we don't have that band-aid look going down the side with caulk built up. Water can do a serious amount of damage to everything, wood and steel especially. But now I'm gonna take this window out. I'm not exactly sure how it comes out, so I'm gonna start by releasing the trim on the inside and see where we're at. Around the window where I just took the interior trim off, you can see that it's leaked and caused some serious rot issues here where the wood is wet and coming apart right there at the bottom of the window. So, like I told Uncle John, the window has to come out, because all of this wood through here is probably rotten. So we're gonna have to replace at least the bottom portion going around that window to get rid of the rotten wood. And all of this decking is coming out. The bottom of this wall, right now it seems like more work than it really probably is, but it is really simple. Basic carpentry, and that's about it. Okay, just checking in with you again here so John gets all his video good. Give you a little update where we're at. I have officially freaked out my Aunt Lucy, and I believe I'm scaring Uncle John a little here now too, but I've got the window out. There is rot underneath it, so Uncle John decided he'd like to replace the frame, probably all the way around this entire panel. But take a look at it from the outside. Lying back here is the piece of fiberglass that wraps above the windshield around the bottom of the camper shell. And here from outside, you can see getting her stripped right down to the bones, which unfortunately the bones are rotten. That's why I'm stripping it down so far. See, that's just crumbling. That's no good. That's no good at all. A view from here, from that window leaking, it has just destroyed the wooden framework. We discussed taking this trim and cutting it and just making a seam. That way it doesn't have to come up all the way around the top. And then I can take these this piece of trim and the trim from the other side and the small pieces that go across the front home tonight, clean them up, repaint them, get them ready to go back on, and then when it goes back together, we'll use some seam sealer on the inside seal everything before the trim even goes on, and then use seam sealer on the trim, so when it gets pushed up into place it squeezes out, fills all the cracks, and doesn't look like a gob of caulk, a Band-Aid Mickey Mouse deal. Okay, here I am back again. Show a little bit more detail as to what has to be done in order to get this board out. Start, took all the staples from the edge all the way around, had to be pulled to let the headliner loose from the decking that we're replacing. And this, once all the staples were out, this just had a couple screws across the front here and there, and it comes right off. And then you can see up under here, all these screws are into that decking, so they'll all have to come out. And then there may be some screws under this, which just by removing a few screws there, this paneling should come off pretty easy. Not sure if it has to right now, but we'll see.
Oh, she looks pretty pitiful, don't she? But I got faith in my nephew. He's a pretty talented young man.
Yeah, it'll all go back together.
There he is. Rough. Is that the face of confidence or what? Right there.
We'll go back together. It's all right. They really are pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty cheesy the way they put these together. Makes it pretty easy to tear them apart, but
yeah, it'll go back together pretty easy too, trust me.
Okay, that's the end of day one. We got the majority of it tarped. It's not supposed to rain, so it's pretty much just so we don't have a big gaping hole. And we'll be back out tomorrow. See how much more damage we can do. Well, right, Paul?
The demo is pretty much finished, and it looks worse than it is. And I'd like to say sorry, Aunt Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy's freaking out. It's a good thing she's not here. She'd really be freaking out. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this one.